After work, coming home, I pinned my alluring girlfriend onto the bed and showered her with kisses. She feigned resistance yet secretly invited me, playfully pushing me around. Just as I was about to ask why she was acting so reserved today, I noticed her face flush with embarrassment as she playfully pounded my chest with her tiny fists. I teased her that she had quite an elegant touch, but then her next words sent a cold sweat down my spine. All I heard was her shy murmur, "Oh, brother-in-law, what are you doing?" Before I could react, she hurriedly slipped on her shoes and left. Chapter 1. My girlfriend has a twin sister. The two look exactly alike. Their height, weight, and even facial features are identical. They even share the same voice. My girlfriend explained that they were born only 1 minute apart, with the only difference being their personalities. I'm the quiet, introverted one, while her younger twin is more outgoing and free-spirited. Today, my girlfriend didn't mention that her sister would be visiting, so I immediately mistook her for my girlfriend and ended up in a passionate yet awkward encounter. I was left scratching my head in bewilderment. 10 minutes later, my girlfriend returned carrying a bunch of groceries. Where's my sister?" I asked. "She's gone." "Gone? Why did she leave?" I was momentarily at a loss for words, not knowing how to explain, so I blurted out that she must have had an urgent matter to attend to. "How could that be?" my girlfriend asked, eyeing me suspiciously. Sophia called her sister, my heart pounding so fiercely it nearly leapt out of my throat. If my sister had been honest about what happened, or if she had awkwardly let something slip, I'd be doomed. Unable to clear my name, I watched as my girlfriend took out her phone, typed in her sister's name, and pressed the call button. Every step set my nerves on edge, and my heart nearly burst from my chest. Is her phone off? I wondered. My girlfriend tried calling again, but it still went straight to voicemail. At that moment, I felt as though a huge weight had lifted from my shoulders, vowing that before any future intimacy, I'd always make sure to confirm exactly who was who. Maybe she really did have an urgent matter, I reasoned. Then she locked eyes with me and said, "Something's not right." I shot back, "What's wrong with me? You start stuttering as soon as you lie, don't you know that?" I'm not stuttering." "Then why are you blushing? Isn't it just too hot? Hot enough to have you drenched in sweat?" Desperate to change the subject, I offered, "Let me help you put these groceries in the fridge. You know, your sister left, there's no way we can finish all this food. Were you two up to some mischief behind my back?" she demanded. I stuttered my responses while tidying up, too ashamed to meet her eyes. "How could that possibly be? What did we do? What on earth were you thinking? Next time I see her, I'll be sure to ask her properly." Ask, she goaded, and I mumbled guiltily. That night, sleep eluded me as my mind replayed the image of her sister struggling beneath my embrace. My lips had sealed hers. She had wanted to explain but could only manage soft whimpers. I turned over in bed, cursing myself for being such a lecher. What time is it now? When I'm still haunted by those thoughts, I resolved to figure out how to avoid any future awkwardness. And above all, this whole mix-up must never reach my girlfriend. She adores her sister more than anything. If she ever found out I'd kissed her twin, whether by mistake or not, I'd be finished. Fortunately, her sister hadn't appeared these past few days. Judging by my girlfriend's demeanor, it seemed the two weren't particularly close, and as long as no one mentioned it again, the whole incident might just fade away. Still, I felt the heavy weight in my heart finally lift. In the meantime, I encountered her sister a few times, and she spoke with me as normally as ever, as if that incident had never occurred. And that was for the best. After all, it was just a misunderstanding, and the blame rested solely on me. If she could forgive me, I considered myself truly fortunate. Later that day, my girlfriend got off work unusually early. As soon as I opened the door, I was hit by the strong smell of alcohol clinging to her. "Where did you go? Why did you drink so much?" I asked. She mumbled a few terse words, "Work, party, damn it," and then collapsed against me. Dazed and confused, I carried her into the bedroom and went to the kitchen to prepare some warm honey water for her. She took the cup and gulped down a large sip before suddenly wrapping her arms around my neck and forcing the honey water from her mouth onto mine, saying, "Stop messing around. Stop messing around." I assumed she was just drunk and needed rest, but she wouldn't let go. At today's company dinner, everyone else was paired off, engaging in all sorts of flirtatious caresses, except me. "Where did you even eat dinner that allowed for such touching?" I questioned. As she spoke, her hand never stopped its journey, sliding from my waist up to my back. Her hand was warm, as if a small flame were dancing across my skin. My girlfriend was indeed heavily intoxicated. She had no real support, with half her body clinging to mine. The mingling scent of alcohol and her perfume was intoxicating. Looking at her flushed cheeks and feeling her teasing caresses, I could no longer hold back my desire and kissed her fiercely. After a long, passionate bout that left us both sweating, I went to take a shower and then returned to see her sexy back. That's when a chilling thought struck me. An icy shiver surged from my heels straight to the crown of my head. Damn it, I really never learned. Was the person I'd been entangled with just now truly my girlfriend? Are you Willow or Sophia? Chapter 2. Smack. A sharp, resounding slap. Sophia say, George, what the fuck are you thinking? Wait, listen to me. You're so disgusting. While being intimate with me, you had the nerve to have my sister on your mind. Are you even human? No. Listen, let me explain. I tried to explain, but I couldn't even begin to justify it. How on earth could I say, I mistook Willow for you last time and pinned you to the bed for a storm of kisses? That would only get me killed faster. Yet if I don't mention it, how will you ever understand my worry? You two look so damn alike. I was terrified of mixing you up. What were you even thinking? Could my sister really have done that with you? Aren't you filthy? I must have been blind to be with you. I was wrong. This is all just a misunderstanding. But have you two really done something? She stared me right in the eyes. No, absolutely nothing happened. Sophia says, I don't believe it. I replied, you two are just too much alike. I felt I had to ask. Otherwise what? If nothing happened between you two, how could you possibly be so worried? Smack. She slapped me hard again. I watched her burst into tears, sobbing uncontrollably. She got dressed and stormed out, slamming the door. There was nothing I could do. The more we dwell on this, the uglier it becomes. All I can do now is wait for her anger to subside and then apologize properly. I sat back on the bed, still feeling the lingering warmth of her body on the covers and the undeniable evidence of our intimacy on the sheets. What was meant to be a beautiful, intimate moment had turned into this disaster. I ran my fingers through my hair in regret and had no energy to clean up. I opened a bottle of liquor and guzzled it down. If we break up over this, it just wouldn't be worth it. Sophia and I have known each other for only 6 months. We were that kind of love at first sight pair. She, pure and graceful, stunning, kind, and understanding. And her sister, she's her Achilles heel. No one can ever let her sister be wronged, not even me. I lost track of how long I drank until I was completely dazed. Then the door opened, and Sophia returned, looking utterly exhausted. I rushed over and grabbed her hand. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. She glared at me coldly. Don't be angry. Okay, I really messed up. Isn't it true that you got yourself drunk by yourself? She mumbled. I just got off work, I'm exhausted. Don't hassle me. In that instant, the scent of alcohol turned to sweat, oozing from every pore until, in a second, my clothes were soaked. Just now, weren't you? What do you mean, I wasn't me? You're completely out of it. She gently pushed my head. That single push snapped me completely awake, yet plunged me into even deeper confusion. My mind felt jammed, as if it couldn't move at all. Enough talking. I'm going inside to lie down, she declared. Before I could stop her, she caught sight of the disheveled sheets and the discarded condom wrapper on the bedside table. I knew then that I couldn't hide it any longer. I had to tell her the truth, from the very start. It had all been a misunderstanding. I had mistaken Willow for you and forcefully kissed her. And then today, with Willow so drunk, I again mistook her for you and went through with that. Not a single word was concealed. After hearing my confession, Sophia's eyes reddened as huge, tear-sized droplets splattered down her cheeks. Oh dear, you can't put all the blame on me. It was Willow who made the first move. I never expected her to take the initiative to sleep with me. Smack. I took another hard slap. And after everything, she even pretended to be you, just so she could get away. Isn't it obvious? It was all her design. Smack. Another slap. I lost count of how many I'd taken today. That slap shattered me completely. Damn it, are you two sisters always like this? Both loving to dish out slaps? I've told you. It was her seduction. She lured me in. She pretended to be you. And that's why I ended up sleeping with her. Not because I truly wanted to be with you from the start. So tell me, where the hell did I go wrong? Sophia said nothing, silently gathering her things. Yeah, I should have seen it coming a long time ago. Sophia, even in anger, remained calm. She wasn't throwing a tantrum at all, nothing like the act Willow had put on. Besides, Sophia rarely initiates intimacy with me. No matter how you slice it, I'm to blame. I moved in from behind and wrapped my arms around her. Listen to me, I know I was wrong, and I apologize. But, let go, you dirty bastard. She stopped tidying up and didn't even look back at me. Her tone was as icy as frozen. Hard pork in a refrigerated locker, completely lifeless. If I didn't let go, she wouldn't resist. I could even hold her like this forever. But I knew that the longer I clung on, the more her heart would die. I can't hold her forever. By then, there'd be no chance to make things right. I watched her pack up and leave, as if repeating the same procedure Willow had followed. What on earth? Why? Why? Oh why? Did Willow seduce me? Why did she set me up? Did she even sacrifice her own innocence just to steal me away from her sister? I dialed Willow's number, but it still went to voicemail. She never seems to like keeping her phone on. Now that I think about it, Willow is a strange woman indeed. One minute she's here, the next she's gone, with no consistency in her actions. Could it be that she's really fallen for me? That can't be. After all, we've only met a few times. And the only intimate incident was that mistaken, forceful kiss, masochistic tendencies, being forced and then falling for me. Just as I was utterly baffled, I received a WeChat message from Willow. Hey, brother-in-law. How's it going? Isn't the little affair exciting? Are you out of your mind? I thought. Then another message. I say, you slept with both your sister and her twin. Isn't that what us men dream about? Hurry up and explain this whole mess to your sister. All right then, see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. at People's Park. We'll talk. Chapter 3. The next day, Willow, dressed in a crop top with her large, sparkling eyes, sat on a park bench sipping soy milk, not cold. She handed me her half-finished soy milk. Caring for me, I thought. I opened her hand and said, don't play that trick. Not drinking. Then I'm leaving. I even say to my sister, it was you who forced me. She got up to leave, back mumbling, I'll drink. I was fuming inside. The straw still bore her lipstick in a faint, youthful fragrance. Frowning, I twisted the straw around and took a sip. Now, tell me, what on earth is this all about? I demanded. What else? It's because I like you. She shot back. Bullshit. We've only met a few times, I retorted. And how many times did you even see my sister before falling in love with her? She countered. I was momentarily at a loss. What does the number of meetings have to do with liking someone? I protested. I'm your brother-in-law. You two aren't even married yet. Well, I'm going out with your sister too. She stood up and puffed out her chest. I've looked exactly like my sister since we were kids. Same face. Same figure. What's my fault? I too stood up and met her gaze. I admit your sister is beautiful. I really like her. But I'm not with her just because she's pretty. Oh, she purred with a sly smile, leaning close to whisper in my ear. I'm better in bed than your sister, you know it. That single remark sent my face turning scarlet. You're seriously out of your mind, I snapped. I tossed aside the soy milk and prepared to leave. Give it up already. Even if you break up with your sister, there's no way I'll be with you. If you leave, I'll tell my mom that you slept with both your sister and me. Don't you dare think you'll ever marry her. She threatened. Fine, do what you want, I muttered. Then I'll call the police and press charges for rape, I blurted out, halting in my tracks as I glared at her. What the hell do you really want? Take responsibility for me, she demanded. But I also slept with your sister, I protested. So who exactly am I supposed to be responsible for? Both, she replied coolly. Maybe the three of us could live together, I suggested. Not impossible, she mused. Stop messing around, your sister could kill me, I warned. After a pause, she said, then you can only be my boyfriend. No way. Then how about just pretending to be my boyfriend? She pleaded. I sighed. Miss, there are plenty of good men in the world. Why do you have to cling to me? For a moment, she fell silent, head bowed, tears streaming. Where are all the good men? Why haven't I met one yet? She lamented. You will, eventually, I replied. Grabbing my hand, she said, brother-in-law, be my boyfriend. 7 days, just 7 days. After that, I'll personally go and explain everything to my sister and make sure you two are as good as new. My sister loves me more than anything. You have to trust me. Really? I asked. Really, I swear, she vowed. She began. If in 7 days, if I go out and, but I quickly covered her mouth with my hand. All right, no need to swear, I promise you, I said. Then she smiled mischievously and even licked my palm with her tongue. I quickly pulled my hand back. To have her help me win back Sophia, I'd agree to almost any condition, except in that one department. She'd suggested it twice, and I had firmly refused both times. That was my bottom line. The rest was simple enough, just dining, drinking, and hitting the clubs. Sophia used to prefer quiet spots, and I rarely went to bars or clubs. Now I almost go every day. The constant noise gives me a headache. Hey, beautiful, dance a little. Suddenly, a stranger's hand crept onto Willow's waist. She neither accepted nor rejected it. Instead, she gyrated wildly on the dance floor. The men grew bolder by the minute, his embrace sliding ever lower. No matter what, Willow is still my sister-in-law. I strode over and knocked his hand away. Buddy, keep your hands to yourself. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm her brother, I declared. Willow shot back. He's my boyfriend. Damn, if you have a boyfriend, why are you still being so provocative? The man angrily flung his hand and stormed off. What did you just say? Say that again. Willow grabbed my arm. See, I told you I can't find any good men. What good men can you even find here? So where should I go then? I thought for a moment. Let's go to the amusement park. The next day, I took her there. She rode the carousel, the pirate ship, and the roller coaster, laughing like a child. I realized she was truly capricious, seductive like a siren at the nightclub, yet as innocent as a child at the park. I took the ice cream from her hand. First time here? I asked. Yeah, it's my first time, she replied. It's so much fun, I said, licking my ice cream cone. It was a bit chilly. I even brought your sister here once. I recalled. She wouldn't dare try any rides, wouldn't let me have any ice cream, saying it would give her diarrhea. Your sister's such a stick in the mud, I muttered. Don't mind her, bring me here next time. I smiled. It's already day 4. 3 more days to go. Why are you such a buzzkill? She pouted. Where do you want to go tomorrow? I asked. Tomorrow. I want to check out your company, she said. Why would you go to my company? I was surprised. Mind your own business, she retorted. I couldn't argue with her, so I took her to my workplace. Some colleagues, having seen Sophia before, mistook her for her and greeted her cheerfully. Willow didn't correct them. Instead, she responded warmly to everyone. They all said, my girlfriend seems in a good mood today, so talkative, while I, busy with work, told her to sit tight and not cause any trouble. Soon after, I began working. In less than an hour, she fiercely slapped a woman, my immediate supervisor. Chapter 4. What are you doing? I rushed over and grabbed Willow's hand as she was about to slap someone again. She cursed at me. That woman pursed her lips as if she'd been wronged. Who the hell is cursing at you? After my supervisor regained his senses, he went berserk, tearing at Willow's hair. Willow dodged to the side and received another resounding slap. Have you no shame? I didn't even want to slap you, yet you insisted on coming over for a beating. Just then, the boss strode over, frowning. What's going on? She's George's girlfriend, and she slapped me, the supervisor complained. Then tell me, why did I hit you? He demanded. The boss fell silent for a moment before adding, no wonder George's work efficiency has been dropping lately. Turns out he's been bewitched by that fox spirit. You even bring her to work. That's what you said, right? You think I didn't hear you? Even if you were whispering, came the retort. Don't cause a scene at the office. George, handle your own girlfriend, the boss ordered. I quickly nodded in agreement while muttering under my breath, fucking boss, acting like a watchdog. Willow, not giving the boss any respect, fired back right on the spot. The boss glared at me with an unmistakable message. Give me a solution, now. Stepping in front of me and blocking the boss's view, Willow said, what kind of boss are you? Don't you care that managers are exploiting lower-level employees? The boss was momentarily taken aback. That bitch, she began, pointing at the female supervisor who had been hit. Even past midnight, still assigning tasks to George. If something's urgent, can't it wait until tomorrow? And these tasks aren't even his, they're just her offloaded work. And you're keeping such useless trash on staff. How do you know all this? I stuttered. Though I'd been with Willow these past few days, I hadn't expected her to be so meticulous. You were working overtime at the bar, thinking I wouldn't notice, she accused. I fell silent. None of these things would ever catch Sophia's attention. And besides, didn't you already have another job lined up? Anyway, since you're leaving soon, why let this damn thing get to you? If you're uncomfortable slapping a girl, I'll do it for you, she offered. How do you know everything? I asked, dumbfounded. I could only roll my eyes. Are you quitting? The boss asked me. Yeah, what's there to be sentimental about with this stupid company? Stupid boss. And stupid supervisor. Willow jumped in as my mouthpiece. Go to HR, get out now. Outside, a light drizzle fell as I clutched my office supplies in both hands while Willow held an umbrella over me. Are you coming to the office today just for this? She teased. Yeah, otherwise, what's the point of me being here? For fun, I replied with a nod, feeling oddly moved. How do you know everything? She pressed. I'm not blind, I shot back. These past few days, you haven't eaten or had any fun, just because of this damn mess. Look, you finally found a suitable new job, and that's why you're smiling, I observed. She seemed almost boastful, talking nonstop. Even though she was about to leave, she couldn't help but get a dose of satisfaction, leaving quickly, saving a month's notice time with the company. I even wanted to reach out and scratch the bridge of her nose, but in my clumsiness, I dropped all my documents. Don't move, if you do, they'll all fall, I warned. Bending over, she carefully picked up every single sheet. Watching her long hair get soaked by the rain, I couldn't describe the feeling inside. She was more considerate than Sophia, more passionate, and cared for me, truly showed that she was concerned. Maybe being a girlfriend isn't so bad after all. I quickly shook my head, banishing this impractical thought. 3 days later, on yet another rainy day, it was my turn to hold the umbrella for her. When our agreed-upon day arrived, my 7-day stint as her boyfriend was honorably over. She smiled and said, "Don't worry, I won't go back on my word. I'll explain everything clearly to my sister." I nodded. She wrapped her arms tightly around my waist, pressing her head hard against my chest as if trying to memorize my scent. This time, I didn't push her away. I gently patted her back. Willow didn't ask me to see her off. She took a taxi and left on her own. For the next month, neither sister contacted me. Just as I was preparing to forget about them and move on with my life, I received a WeChat message from Sophia. I'm pregnant. For a moment, I didn't know how to face this news. Then, just before bed, Willow shockingly sent me the exact same words. Once I managed to come to my senses, I first replied to Willow, "Impossible, we took precautions that time. Aren't you going to take responsibility?" "Not that. I did use a condom," she shot back. "Then how did you get pregnant?" I demanded. "Just because you wear a condom doesn't guarantee safety. It can leak, you know," she countered. "Believe it or not, I've only ever slept with you." Damn. I slammed my phone against the wall. God damn it, do you hate me to death? How am I supposed to explain this to both of you? Or even to your parents? The next day, I bought a new phone. When I logged into WeChat, there were instantly over 99 notifications. Sophia sent me just one message. "Don't you dare ignore me. I never expected you to be like this. I'm keeping the baby, and it has nothing to do with you." I wanted to reply, but she had already blocked me. Almost all the remaining messages were from Willow, ranging from initial suspicions, to furious tirades, to tearful pleas, and finally to utter heartbreak. In those days, I drifted in a haze, a pitiful drunk slumped in the corner of a bar. How many days did I go without eating? 3, 4. Every day, I drank until I violently vomited, then got up to drink some more, until I eventually started coughing up blood. In a daze, someone helped me up, slung my arm over their shoulder, and laboriously led me out of the bar. Who was it? Sophia or Willow? Chapter 5. In the taxi, the recitations of countless deities echoed in my ears. How can one achieve a solution that pleases both sides? To not fail Buddha and not fail the one you love. It's impossible to be responsible for two people at once, but as long as I'm still a man, I must take responsibility for at least one of them. Who should that be? Sophia is my primary partner, and by right, I should be responsible for her. Yet now she hates me with every fiber of her being. Meanwhile, Willow is more of a victim. If I hadn't forcefully kissed her that day, none of this would have happened. But then, it wouldn't be fair to Sophia. I turned my head and looked at that face so familiar to me, at the anxious expression and the trace of resentment in her eyes, and I smiled. Then I thought, tonight, whoever got me out of that bar, I'll take responsibility for her. At least, she cares about me. That night, I couldn't tell whether it was Willow or Sophia with whom I tangled in the sheets. All I remember is that once we got home, she started crying first. I held her, kissed her, and before I knew it, we were in bed together. That night, she seemed determined to vent all the grievances in her heart, or perhaps to assert her claim, declaring that I belonged to her. I, too, was indulgent, hoping that through this passion I might settle on someone to care for me for life. The irony was that I had no idea whether the body entwined with mine belonged to Sophia or Willow. I was jolted awake by thirst, a huge glass of water downed in one gulp. I stared at the glass, still dazed. I'd fallen asleep right after our encounter yesterday. The glass, placed on my bedside table, had been set there by her. Someone so thoughtful was most likely Willow. I pulled the covers around me and wrapped my arms around her waist from behind. She murmured happily in her sleep without waking, and I too sank into deep slumber. When the sun rose like a sword piercing through my eyes, I saw her still there with her back turned to me, bare and bathed in sunlight. "Willow," I ventured. She turned, smiling. "You finally got it right. Willow, marry me. I'll take you as my wife, and we'll raise the child together." "Okay," she replied. We shared an unspoken understanding. Neither of us mentioned Sophia. Later, when we arrived at Willow's family home, I was trembling with anxiety, my whole body shaking. Thank goodness Sophia wasn't there, otherwise, my sorry state would have been unendurable. I suspected that Willow had deliberately arranged to bring me over when her sister was away. "Welcome, sir and madam," her parents greeted me. "Please, have a seat." Willow's parents were neither overly warm nor particularly cold. Glancing around, I couldn't shake the feeling that something about their home was off, though I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Has she left?" I asked Willow. She nodded. At that, her parents' expressions grew even stranger, a mix of awkwardness, confusion, and a hint of anger. "She's gone. Gone." Could it be that they already knew about the mess I'd made with the two sisters? I quickly shifted the conversation, praising her mother for looking so young. After dinner, Willow's parents insisted I stay a while, but once the meal was over, I excused myself and practically bolted from the room, terrified that Sophia might return at any moment. "Why are you so afraid?" Willow asked. I replied, "Getting caught is no good. Sooner or later, you have to face it. Right, if we get married, wouldn't my sister show up eventually?" she muttered. I sighed heavily. What am I going to do about the baby in Sophia's belly? She's determined to keep it, but if the baby is born, how will she raise it? And what will people say? Should she abort it? I'm in no position to advise her. After I settled things with Willow, I never saw Sophia again. She kept avoiding me. Every time I checked WeChat and saw that big, red exclamation mark, my heart churned with conflicting emotions. For a month, I buried myself in work, trying desperately to forget this unpleasant chapter of my life, until one night, At a nightclub, I saw Willow, wrapped in the arms of two men, one holding her waist and the other kissing her neck. She closed her eyes in pleasure, swaying sensuously, utterly unconcerned about the baby growing inside her. "What are you doing?" I demanded. "Mind your own business. I'm your boyfriend. If I don't take care of you, who will?" She laughed then, a cold, venomous laugh. "Oh yes, you are my boyfriend. So, how about we break up now?" "Fine. You have no right to control me." I stood there stunned, and then an unnamed fury exploded within me. I grabbed her arm and dragged her out of the club. "What do you mean by that?" I shouted. She answered lightly. "What do I mean? I just want to snatch you away from your sister's side." "Why? Why would you do that?" I roared, my anger loud enough to startle passers-by. "Don't think I don't know. You've always loved my sister, Sophia. You and I were never more than a physical affair," I admitted. "At first, I truly liked your sister, Sophia. But after spending so much time with you, when I looked up, she had already walked far away, not even listening to a word I said." I returned to that familiar bar. Taking a seat in a corner, I noticed a girl, utterly drunk. I walked over. "Sophia," I ventured. She smiled and waved me over. "You're drinking so much, it's not good for the baby." "Who are you? Since when do you care about me?" she retorted, waving her hand dismissively in front of me. "Are you okay?" she asked again. This was the second time I'd heard that question today. I felt deeply troubled. "How did you end up here? How can you get so drunk? Am I the only one?" "I drink because," I began, but then paused. How did she know I was here? Drunk. Sophia had never been one to drink, and I'd never mentioned that I frequented this bar. How could she possibly know? In a blinding flash, my vision went dark. I nearly fainted. A fact I was desperate to ignore was laid bare before me. That day, wasn't it you? You got me home the day after I was vomiting blood. Was it you who did that? You took me home, then left, fearing I might hurt myself, and called for Willow, didn't you? I went mad, shaking her shoulder. Her eyes were red, tears streaming down her face. What does it matter now? Do these things even count anymore? Why didn't you tell me? I cried, collapsing into a fit of despair. I grabbed my hair and sobbed uncontrollably. It was always Sophia who cared for me, who looked after me. Sophia was the one who took me home, who left that glass of water by my bedside. The only night I spent with someone was with Willow. And Willow, in the end, only wanted to snatch me away from her sister's side and then dump me. Chapter 6. First, I sent Sophia home. Mrs. Liu asked why she was so smashed, but I didn't answer. With my eyes burning, I roamed from club to club, searching for any sign of Willow, searching all night, but to no avail. At dawn the next day, Willow came to my house on her own. Her face was twisted with malice and provocation as she spat. I actually don't like you at all, really not. All those acts were just for show. I've hated my sister since I was a kid. She has everything, and I have nothing. So I had to snatch everything from her, take it all and then throw it away. I wasn't after possession. I just wanted to see her lose it. And you, too. I had to take revenge on her. I had to make her suffer. I hate her. It's all she owes me. The more Willow ranted, the more agitated she became, until after a long while she finally calmed down. But you're not entirely without merit, sleeping with both your sister and me. Isn't this kind of double blessing exactly what you men crave? She patted my head like a dog. Tell me, what on earth happened between you two? You look so close. How can you hate your own sister so much? Want to know? With that, she raised my chin with her index finger in a gesture that was both suggestive and alluring. Maybe in the next life, she trailed off, not wanting to listen further. I decided, I'll ask Sophia. When I arrived at her home, only her parents were there. "Madam, where's Sophia?" I asked. Her mother paused and said, "Sophia went out early today." "And what about Willow?" I pressed. Willow has been dead for a long time now." Dead? I was stunned. Then who have I been seeing all this time? Who is it with whom I shared my bed? A cold wind blew out from Willow's bedroom, a chill that sent shivers down my spine. "George, are you all right?" came a hesitant voice. I'm fine," I stammered as I trembled and pulled out my phone. "Madam, look, this is Willow's WeChat. See, I still have her contact. I even called her." "Listen." I played the call. There was no answer. Willow's mother stared at me in disbelief, clearly wondering if I'd lost my mind. "Anne, look, here's her WeChat again. See, isn't that her bedroom?" I bolted into the room without even bothering to take off my shoes, comparing the photos on my phone with the furniture in the room. "Look at this photo. It was taken right here, wasn't it? Look at the angle." "Madam, see, I'm not lying." I crouched in the corner, murmuring. "How could it be? How could she be dead? It can't be. Child, don't scare me," my mother said as she helped me up and took my phone, frowning as she examined it. "This is indeed our home. What's happened here?" I felt as if I'd fallen into hell, a mire beneath my feet from which I couldn't escape. The room was filled with eerie drafts, and cold sweat poured down my forehead. Sophia, yes, Sophia must know. If we find Sophia, we can figure out what really happened. I snatched the phone back and bolted out the door. Child, wait, my mother called after me. In the taxi, Mrs. Liu called, but I said nothing and listened in silence. I eventually found Sophia by the river. She was wearing a trench coat and gazing at the shimmering reflections on the water. Sophia, I called. She turned at the sound of my voice, then coldly turned away. Why come find me? Aren't you supposed to be with Willow? No, there is no Willow. Willow is dead, I blurted. No way, my sister isn't dead. She's perfectly fine. You're just a liar. I grabbed her shoulder, forcing her to look into my eyes. There is no Willow. Willow is dead. She's gone. Impossible. Then tell me, how long has it been since you last saw your sister? She stared blankly, as if lost in memories, like it had been so long. I'd never seen both of you together at the same time. There weren't any family photos of you together. Have you ever wondered why that is? You could call her now, call her every day. No one would answer. She looked at me, puzzled. Why? Because you are Willow. Your sister is just someone you made up. Willow is already dead. She died when you were 6 years old. Dead? Chapter 7. She nearly lost her balance, and I caught her in my arms. On the hospital bed, Sophia still lay in a coma while her parents were rushing over. I, however, was lost in the memories of everything her parents had told me. Sophia truly is a twin. She did have a sister named Willow. When they were 6 years old, the two were in a terrible car accident. Even worse, both sisters had an extremely rare blood type. The hospital's plasma supply was insufficient, so they could only save one person immediately. The other had to wait for blood to be coordinated from another hospital's reserve. Under the constant pressure from the doctors, your parents were forced to make a decision. In the end, with all the agonizing deliberation, they chose to save the older sister with the more severe injuries. By the time the plasma arrived, the little sister had already passed away. Her parents were inconsolable, yet they had another child to raise, so they had to force themselves to emerge from the depths of grief. Sophia slowly grew up, albeit a bit introverted. On the surface, she appeared psychologically sound, until I came along. That's when her parents began to notice something was amiss. On the ride, I called a doctor friend and described the situation. After listening, he said it was very likely a case of dissociative identity disorder. Due to her overwhelming guilt over what happened to her sister, Sophia had developed an alternate personality, her sister, Willow. In her primary personality, she had always regarded this alternate self as her real sister, subconsciously insisting that her sister was not dead. Meanwhile, the Willow personality, influenced by the primary self's psychological cues, believed that her sister owed her, that she had been wronged, and thus, she had to seize everything her sister had, including me. Fundamentally, the alternate personality felt that the primary one had stolen her very life. This explained why both personalities ended up pregnant together and why they would both suddenly leave and then return. They were, in effect, switching between identities. A friend urged me to take Sophia to a psychologist as soon as possible, assuring me that medication could help her recover faster. Hearing all this, I burst into tears. After suppressing my emotions for so long, I finally felt them released. The recent pressure had nearly driven me mad. But, thank goodness, they're actually two sides of the same person. There's only one child, and only one person who has shared my bed. Now, my heart no longer needs to bear the moral judgment or the torment of human nature. I gazed at the sunflower on the windowsill. It bobbed its head as if to say that no matter what happens, it will smile and welcome the sun tomorrow. Mr. Wong. Mr. Wong. Ah, what's that? The psychologist emerged from the treatment room with Sophia. Today's session was over. Ms. Liu's condition had improved significantly. Very soon, her alternate personality would completely vanish. Thank you so much, doctor, I said, bowing to him. What were you just looking at? Sophia asked me, holding onto my arm. I smiled and replied, I was looking at the flowers. Sunflowers. What's so special about them? Every time you come, you stare at it. You've been watching it for a month now, tilting your head so adorably, just like you. This month has been a happy one, she added. One thing the doctor had told me was that Sophia's dissociative identity disorder was completely cured. She would no longer need treatment. A few months later, Sophia and I held our wedding. Mr. George, do you promise to take this bride as your wife, to love and protect her, in poverty and in wealth, in sickness and in health? I do. My voice rang out clearly as I looked at Sophia's smiling face, and I couldn't help but smile broadly in return. And do you, madam, promise to take this groom as your husband, to care for him through poverty and wealth, in sickness and in health? I do. The wedding concluded perfectly. Later, in our marital suite, I couldn't wait to wrap my arms around her. Blushing furiously, she playfully punched my chest with her tiny fists, her face radiating happiness as she said, George, thank you for taking me to see the psychologist. Now, she's completely dead.